Hello and welcome back to the Bear Cave. We're sitting once more in Korthos. Well, not quite in Korthos. We've found a little vantage point here overlooking Korthos village, looking down onto the boat landing area, and in the other direction, out across the deep blue sea. I get the impression these two would rather be left alone, Imelda and John, so we'll be making ourselves scarce shortly. So what did we end up choosing this life? You'll no doubt see the big two-handed axe here in his hand. That might give you some clue. Um, Thank you very much to you all for the suggestions in the thread. There's some good stuff in there. I will keep them in mind for future lives. But this time around, I got the impression most of you were leaning towards having a go at a melee. So, for the sake of doing something a bit different as well, I thought we might try down that route. But being as old habits die hard, I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go all melee and no spells. So I thought we would try with the wizard, an eldritch knight. So I'm going to call this one the Purple Crusades, being as he's a knight of sorts. What can I tell you to start with? Right, I made a little bit of a mess, but some things I did okay with. The starting stats, I had to be careful with these because he wanted the two-handed fighting line of feats, and to get the first one in the two-handed fighting you have to have a strength of 15, isn't it? You have to have. So I took that. Let me just double check that. Make sure I'm not telling you rubbish. So two-handed fighting, yeah, needs a 15 strength. Then you've got improved two-handed fighting, which needs 17. Greater two-handed fighting needs 17 as well, but more base attack bonus. And perfect two-handed fighting in epic, I think, oh, that's just a level thing. Okay, so you need to start with the 15 to be able to take that. Of course, we could have started lower and picked some up with our universal tome as we went along. But I thought it would be good to start with it. Now, spending some points in strength isn't so terrible because to start with, we don't have intelligence to hit or damage. So that those points that we've put into strength are going to make our life easier for these opening quests. Now these are inflated. Bear in mind, there's 2 extra there from the guild buffs, and there's 2 extra on each one as well from the universal tome he has. So we started with strength 15. Dex 11. Now I had to put some points in Dex as well because at level 3 we'll want the precision feat for more to hit and reducing the enemy fortification. Con, I went with 16. Intelligence was 17. I put a couple of points in wisdom just for a bit of an extra will save, and charisma was a dump stat. So that side of it went okay. I just about remembered, only because one of the feats I was looking to take didn't appear on the options, so I went back and adjusted the stats, otherwise I would have forgotten and been in a mess. So we did that. But, oh, and by the way, if you're ever wanting to plan out, I haven't planned this out and I'm not going to, I'm just going to kind of do it off the cuff. do the best I can. But if you're ever wanting to plan something out, a build beforehand, there are one or two DDO planners if you just do a Google search, which are a really good way of catching, the potential for these types of mistake. Like if you haven't put enough on a certain stat and there's a prerequisite for a feat you really want to take. I've had it before on the ranged side with, I think again with precision. I was doing an intelligence build, so I dumped decks and not picked up on the fact that I needed a certain amount of decks. You need 13 to take precision feat. So those planners are a nice way of ordering the feats and helping you not get caught out, like you need a certain amount of base attack bonus to take this feat, or there's a prerequisite for that feat that you hadn't allowed for. So that's quite a good idea, especially if you're delving into something new, and this is definitely something new for me. So I should follow my own advice one of these days. So that was the feats. Then we went with human. I'm not convinced we're going to be able to spend too many points in the racial tree anyway, so I went with human for the extra feat at the start. We've gone with the two-handed fighting, as you've seen. We've gone with insightful... Can we see it here? There we go. Insightful reflexes, because intelligence is going to be the main thing on this build. I wanted to use intelligence eventually to hit and damage, making use of the Harper enhancement tree for that. You can get intelligence to hit there, although we do have intelligence to hit as an option in the Eldritch Knight tree too. There's intelligence to damage, and also what they call the trance ability, this know the angles, which it's not going to do much for us early on, but later on, as our intelligence modifier becomes more significant, we're going to get some decent extra damage out of that. So I won't take it straight away, because as you can see at the moment, half of 5, I guess it might round down as well, so it's only going to be +2, and it's going to be quite a drain on our mana resources. So I won't do it for now, but that is something for the pipeline. I'm thinking we're going to put about 12 points into this Harper tree. Eldritch Knight, we're going to have at least 41. That's one of my kind of rules for doing any of these lives. It's got to be pure, and you've got to go capstone in whatever tree the class is mainly based on. So this is an Eldritch Knight, so we're going for this. This is not something I've ever done before. I've never done an Eldritch Knight build, period, and I have never done a two-handed melee build either. So this will be an interesting journey through for me, and hopefully I will learn one or two things along the way, have some fun. Now, as you can see, I've already got some experience. I've only done, I said I would itemize the quests, because one of you requested that. I've only done one up to this point, which was protect Baudry's interests in the harbour. And the rest of the experience has come from the silver dice rolls, because it's taking me a long time between Purple's lives, so I've time to amass all these little XP gems, and over time they add up. Why did I do Baudry's interests? Well, initially when I tried that quest, the kobolds would always break the box and I'd end up failing it, until some friendly soul came along and said to me, "You're doing it all wrong, you muppet. Just go and speak to the guy, then go and stand by the door of the quest, go and get a cup of tea and a sandwich, and 5 minutes later the quest completes." And they were right. So I just sat there. The quest completed. You go and kill your 10 kobolds, and that's it. Job done. So I tend to always do that one at the start of any new life. We've done the stats. Yes, so I've been through the section with the stats that I did correctly in order to get the feats that we want later. Now the things that I messed up on. I wasn't aware that that you couldn't get a scroll for Master's Touch. You can, but it's in the portable hole only, and we can't teleport there at this level. So, as I haven't taken the spell for Master's Touch, we are not proficient with this battle axe, unfortunately, which is leading to a lot of misses in the quests. Even the kobolds that were sort of wrapped up in those traps, I was missing them half the time. So that's a real pain. As soon as this particular quest is done, because I wanted to show you one at level 1, I will be taking level 2 and attempting to rectify that. If we are granted another level 1 spell, I will of course take Master's Touch. If we're not, I'll go as soon as I can to the second core in this tree, because you can see there you gain proficiency in light armor and martial weapons, and I think pretty much all the two-handed weapons we could want to wield are martial weapons, so that would solve that little issue one way or the other. Taking level 2 should solve it for us. Was there anything else? Yeah, especially because of the mistake I've made and we're having trouble hitting things, I thought just for now we would put 4 points into the Pale Master tree to get this skeletal knight. Now I've made another bit of a mistake there. The first bonus wizard feat I took was extend, just to make it can be quite handy in the early levels, just to make the early spells last longer, not having to recast all the time. But I could have taken augment summoning. Now, because it's so rare I ever use a summons, as you know, I never even thought about it. But this skeleton knight is quite strong, even though I have no way to heal it at the moment. So another 4 on all its abilities would have been quite handy. So I'll bear that in mind for the future, and maybe we'll take that in future. Because as I understand it, the wizard gets a bonus wizard feat, spellcasting related feat, every 4 levels. So we perhaps bear that in mind and take it next time. Because the standard caster feats, the likes of Maximize and that, I suppose are going to be significantly less interesting to us in this life. That's why I went with Extend, just to make our early spells, early buffs and things last longer. Okay, so all the disclaimers are out of the way. I've told you exactly why I'm going to miss every attack I try. So I've shown you a couple of these already in previous lives. I don't seem to have any sound on at the moment. Is that better? Yeah. I'm very proud of this horse, by the way. The one of the unicorns from the I call it the bear raid. What's it called properly? Is it the Dryad raid with is that right, with the character in the middle that you've got to protect? We managed to do it a number of times with our little group, and not only was it great fun, this horse is kind of the symbol of me at least being able to manage some of the raids in the game, see that new content, and so yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Everybody says it looks like something like this. Can we zoom in on that? Yeah, look at it looks like something that's been taken of a stained glass window in a church, doesn't it? But I know you all really wanted to see my horse's bum. I quite like it. It's to me it's a reminder of the nice times in that raid. And I hope that one day, if I can pull my finger out and stop thinking that every one of you is out to ridicule me and all the rest of it, maybe there could be some more nice times in the future on the raiding side. Let's wait and see. Right, so we've already shown you the thing in the crypt there, haven't we? Let's try and show you this Storehouse a secret thing. So you can only, as I understand it, you can only summon the skeleton knight once per rest. After that, if it dies, I have to wait until a rest shrine to be able to do it again. So I understand it. I can't heal it, so it's just going to have to manage. Hopefully it can take enough of the heat off, as we've got protection from evil and shield. I didn't show you the spells, did I? The other one is a protection from evil if you didn't know, a bit of defense against evil characters, saves and AC. Shield, extra armor class, and protection from magic missiles, which is very important, especially when you go into Reaper and Famine Reaper start spamming that at you. Colour spray, I think we could do quite well on, especially to try and contain packs of things and then lay about them with our two-handed weapon. I've taken the liberty of picking up one or two potions as well to help us. You can see the past lives there, epic past lives on this thing, which if you've seen the series last time you'll know what they are. 2 in brace for a bit more saving throw, and PRR, and we've got 3 in energy criticals, which, if I understand this imbue system correctly, do absolutely nothing for him this life, but still. It might, no, it won't help. It doesn't work for negative, does it? No, okay. I took some potions of heroism. Should help with the misses, with the attacks, but also a bonus to saves. Got some Cure Serious, learning from the mistake of last time. You can take Cure Serious from level 1. And I also have some potions of haste to attack a bit faster, although if we're missing all the time, it won't do us so much good. I found some potions of rage as well with the Kundarak guild seller. This is where I got most of this stuff from, the guild potion sender in House Kundarak, on the sort of little square there where all the sellers are. And this could be quite interesting, because at the moment we're going on strength for attack and damage, so a +2 on strength and constitution as well is going to be quite helpful. You can see we've only got 62 hit points at the moment, so if we hit the rage... Oh, we've gone up to a monstrous 63. That's not really helpful, is it? Alright. Now, as I can't heal the skeleton, I'm hopeful we can... Have I gone the wrong way there? No. You're seeing all these misses. That's quite embarrassing. So note to self, whenever doing something like this in future, absolutely must get the Master's Touch spell in the first level 1 spells that I choose. Miss, 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 miss. It's a good job the skeleton's carrying me in this one, isn't it? Hang on, don't I have to find a key in here? Yes. Let's hit the haste boost. Okay. I tried colour spraying him. I don't think I was successful. And there is a chest down here, isn't there? I'm using the starter weapon, by the way. The starter, what's it called? Great Axe. Ember Great Axe. And all the gear I've got is just Borderlands level 1 gear, but it's got some quite nice boosts on it. I've been lucky enough to find some of these mythic boosts. Now on certain items like the rings there, the gloves, and the, is it the boots? No, there's another item, the goggles. The goggles, the rings and the gloves, these mythic boosts are giving us melee power as well. So between that and these, I think we've got about 10 extra melee power, which at this level is lovely. Can we colour spray an animated rat? No. Oh yes, we blinded it. It's just immune to the stun by the looks of it, so we can blind them. I think that's the same for spiders. You can't stun them, but you can blind them. Keep an eye on the hit points. Why, who got damaged? I bet it would have been me. I have this, you've seen this in the last life, and in the life before that, Kenneth crafted robe. This invulnerability in the early levels is quite nice. As soon as you get, you know, a couple of levels under your belt, all the enemies have magic attacks, or they're classed as that, I think. So this invulnerability doesn't do anything then. But for these first couple of levels, it's a nice bit of damage reduction. And also, as you've probably noticed in the past, things that do hit us are running away in fear. So it's quite good at, you know, stopping you from being swamped.
The door swings open. It appears that the floor in this room can be moved and rotated.
Oh, what am I doing here? Come on. Okay. And the bad news is, the next time around, the only one of these starter quests on the Korthos island that I haven't shown is the Kenneth crystal. Actually, I should have done it with this skeleton, because I bet he would have been more than capable of stopping them. Let's have a go. It was only a quick quest, wasn't it? Let's have a go with the skeleton and try and demonstrate how best to get that one done, because if you go in and you try that one on your own, I'll take a belt with 5 more hit points there, I think. If you go in and try that one on your own, the chances are you just get swamped and the crystal gets mashed by the opponents. But if you have a fighty hireling, they tend to occupy the opponents for long enough that you can either finish them yourself or protect the crystal from harm.
Ahead is the cellar where the Kenneth crystal is hidden. You can feel the life-saving heat emanating from the magic.
So I've got him set to attack. So he should go and flush them out into the corners, and I'm going to stand and guard the crystal, I think. I'll try and remember my haste boost and rage. I don't think I can cast spells well. Oh look, he's making a good job of that. I don't think I can cast spells while raging, can I? Or can I? Well, we'll try. We'll try and do a colour spray and see if it works. If they get close. Well, the old skeleton, he took some damage there, but he's made mincemeat of those first two. Now, if I would chime in and help a bit... Let's try against this one. So we can cast while that rage is going on. Oh, God. That's not very good, is it? Well, that illustrates how sensitive the crystal is. That they get in behind you, and that's it, game over. But that would have been how to do that. I was missing the crowd control of previous builds. I normally put an entanglement or something down here. We'll just have to go and do that one again. I'll not bore you with that. Typical of me. Overstretch myself, try and show you a bit of bonus content, and end up with egg on my face. Okay, I think that's enough for that one. I think we've made a half decent start, considering I'm not even proficient with the equipment I'm trying to use. I have a couple of little plans for the level 2 to try and get him some better equipment. I'm not going to farm anything, but there's a vendor in the Borderlands who can sell you virtually any weapon or caster stick you might need for level 2. So that's always a good port of call at the lower levels, of which more in the next episode. Thank you very much as always for looking, and I will speak to you in the next one. Take care.